Hi there, I'm Rob Howell, the head chef of Root, the restaurant down here in Wapping Wharf in Bristol, just on the harbour side. Welcome back to all of you, the students of Bath College. Today we are going to run through some dishes here that are on the menu at the moment. Vegetable-based dishes, like most of our menu is made up of here. We're predominantly plant-based with a few meat and fish dishes on the side. I started off my career just like you guys at catering college. I did 2 years, not at Bath, unfortunately. I went to Western. And then from that, I applied for a summer job in a kitchen. And from there, they took me on full-time. And in the end, I kind of just went on and got to where I am today. I started off in a seafood restaurant. I then moved to London, worked in another seafood restaurant there in Knightsbridge. I got an opportunity to move to France and work in France, and then from there Edinburgh and back to my hometown or area of Bristol. I luckily got a position at the Pony and Trap and became head chef of the Pony and Trap age 21, and from there I've moved on to now become head chef of Root. So I've got 3 dishes for you today. We've got a Korean fried celeriac, which is a take on like fried chicken as such. We have a beetroot dish, which is beetroot done several ways. And then we have a kohlrabi dish, which is a little bit different, a bit interesting for you guys. I'm gonna start with the celeriac dish. So the inspiration of this dish was we were doing fried chicken on the menu. And then one day we were like, what else can we fry? And then it started off as a few different dishes, and then we've ended up here, which is really pleased with it. It's probably one of our best sellers. So yeah, I'll get going. To start off with, we're going to make the Korean fried, the sauce. So all the ingredients are here, weighed out. So into the sauce we go sesame oil. That is 100 ml. We have fresh garlic and stem ginger with a little bit of the syrup. We get that in. We have the gochujang dressing, and we use gluten-free soy sauce. Cool. So we've added the mirin and the rice wine vinegar, and then 100 grams of sugar as well. So we literally take that in the blender. We have a thermo here. This here is the celeriac that has been wrapped in 3 layers of tin foil and baked in the oven for 1 hour and 3/4. You are left with, we just remove the skin with as little wastage as possible. So just getting rid of all of the dirt and the skin. So like I said, the inspiration of this dish was like fried chicken. So we just tear this apart into nugget-sized pieces. This is to replicate chicken nuggets as such, or that kind of style, like the popcorn chicken as such. There we go. So like I said, now we've got our celeriac that has been cooked for 1.5 hours. We let it cool down completely for about 2 hours in that tin foil, and it kind of steams itself, and you end up with this beautiful translucent celeriac. So just like I said, just like fried chicken, we put it into some buttermilk. Toss that around, make sure it's totally coated, and then into our dredge. Our dredge is made up of gluten-free flour, a little bit of corn flour, and spices such as turmeric, onion powder, garlic powder, and smoked paprika. We are then going to fry this celeriac for about 2 minutes in the fryer until crispy and golden. So whilst that's frying, I'll just talk to you a bit about our produce. So our menu is very heavily produce driven. Being a vegetable restaurant, you want to make them as special as possible, and that comes with sourcing the best possible ingredients, and we try and do our very best at that. We work with a local greengrocer called Hugo, which uses a vast amount of local ingredients from farms around, smaller farms and producers around Somerset and the Bristol area. So we've got vegetables coming from Sims Hill Farm as well, out in Frenchay. We use Wilding Cider and Farm. They're based in Chew Magna, along with a lot of produce from Chew Magna as well, like Strode Valley. Obviously in the winter time, when it comes to, there's not as much produce around English-wise, but we still get in a lot of our squash, onions and kind of root vegetables from local suppliers. To go with the fried celeriac is just a little bit of slaw. So we've got red cabbage, white cabbage and some julienne of carrots. So once again using some knife skills just to make sure it's nice and fine. We've dressed that with a little bit of sesame and sesame oil as well, with a bit of rice wine vinegar. So we've still got those Asian influences coming through on the dish. So we've got the celeriac come out the fryer, so it's kind of little nuggets, like I said, some small, some big. It's kind of perfect little crunchy bits of batter, work really well. So here we have our, we've just bottled our Korean barbecue sauce, we call it, and we're just gonna coat that celeriac to finish it off, a bit more texture to the dish. So we've got some roasted peanuts and some sesame, and then the coriander to finish off. There's not much to plating up this dish. It's just meant to be a bit of fun. We serve this at the start of the meal, just as a little snack. So I'm just going to plate this dish up. We have all of our different varieties of beetroot and a few garnishes here. Cool. We try and add as much kind of technique and texture to each dish, making the most of vegetables and doing something a little bit different that you kind of haven't seen before. So this fermented beetroot. So we try to keep, when plating, everything nice and natural. We try to waste as little as possible when preparing our vegetables, so we tend to stray away from the kind of diced and cubed and go for more natural forming shapes. So here you've got the roasted beetroot, the pickled beetroot, fermented beetroot, all on the plate, along with the cucumber and the yogurt. Here I'm just going to finish off with some candied walnuts. So we've boiled these to 106 in a sugar syrup. We then drain them off and then deep fry them at 180 until golden brown. You're left with like a perfectly candied walnut, and we use them a lot on savoury and sweet dishes. And to our dish, we're just going to finish off with a little bit of watercress. Once again, bang in season, and it just adds a little bit of a peppery note to this quite sweet dish. Here you have it, beetroot salad from Somerset with candied walnuts and cucumber. So this is another dish here that's on the menu at the moment. Kohlrabi's a banging season for the late summer and all the way through the summer. This kohlrabi, we literally sit on the grill for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, till it's completely blackened. Just going to use our knife skills to prepare the kohlrabi. We're just slicing thin slices. The dish idea came from like a ceviche of fish. So we've just replaced the fish, same ingredients we would have done with a bit of cured, let's say, brill or sea bream, and we've replaced it for a vegetable. So I'm just going to slice all of these. So these are the dish ingredients. We have some segmented oranges. We have some grated stem ginger with a little bit of the syrup and a bit of rapeseed oil. The rapeseed oil literally comes from about 15 miles down the road. We've got some chopped chives, a little bit of lemon juice, chive oil and rapeseed oil again. So I'll just plate the dish now for you. So we're just going to season the kohlrabi with a bit of sea salt. And I'm going to go a bit of black pepper, cracked black pepper. And then the stem ginger. And then the orange segments. I'm just going to use a little bit of the orange juice to dress it as well. So there's a nice bit of citrus in this dish. The lemon juice, the chive oil, and a little bit of extra rapeseed oil. We're just going to finish off with the chopped chives as well. Here you have it, char grilled kohlrabi, ceviche as such, with orange, stem ginger and chive oil.